You finally get a free afternoon. No work, no chores, no plans, just you and a couch. And within 10 minutes, something strange happens. A quiet, nagging guilt creeps in, like you are doing something wrong, like the couch itself is quietly judging you. You are not tired of resting. You are scared of it. Somehow, doing nothing feels like a small crime. So you grab your phone. You half watch a show while answering emails. You turn rest itself into one more little job. And it raises a genuinely strange question. Why does doing nothing, the exact thing your exhausted body is literally begging for, make you feel so guilty? Let us be clear about something first. You are not lazy. You worked all week. You are running on fumes. By every honest measure, you have earned this break. And still, the second you stop moving, your brain files a formal complaint. Shouldn't you be doing something useful right now? To understand that guilt, we have to look at what your brain secretly thinks rest actually is. Because to your brain, stillness is not safety. For most of human history, sitting still was a luxury you simply could not afford. And psychologists have caught your brain doing this on camera. A researcher named Christopher C. ran a study on what he called idleness aversion. He gave people a choice: wait 15 minutes doing nothing, or take a totally pointless walk to drop off a survey for the same reward. The people who had any excuse to stay busy ended up noticeably happier than the ones who just sat still, even though the walk was useless. We do not just tolerate busy work, we crave it. We will invent reasons to stay busy purely to escape doing nothing. You know the feeling. You sit down, then suddenly remember you could reorganize a drawer or reply to a 3-day-old text. Anything but stillness. Which is bizarre until you see what doing nothing actually does to your head. Back in the 1920s, a psychologist named Bluma Zygarnik noticed something odd about waiters. They could remember complicated unpaid orders perfectly. The second the bill was paid, the memory vanished. Finished, so forgotten. She found that unfinished tasks stay active in your mind. They keep quietly pinging you. The finished ones go silent. This is the Zygarnik effect, and it means the instant you sit down to rest, every unfinished thing you own starts knocking. The laundry, that one email, the text you never sent, they all line up and tap you on the shoulder right in the middle of your break. So rest does not feel peaceful. It feels like sitting in a room full of tasks, all loudly clearing their throats at once. And the more tired you are, the louder they get. Exhaustion does not quiet the list. It just lowers your defenses against it. But it is not only the unfinished tasks, it is what being busy has quietly come to mean. A researcher named Sylvia Bellezza found that being busy has quietly turned into a status symbol. We used to brag about leisure, yachts, long lunches, free time. Now we brag about being slammed, overbooked, no time to breathe. I am so busy is the new flex. So when you are not busy, it does not just feel boring. It feels like you are falling behind. Rest starts to look like proof that you are not important enough to be needed. And that quietly stings. So you answer one more message at dinner. You check email in bed. You keep proving you are busy, mostly to an audience of one, yourself. And if you want to know where this guilt was originally installed, we have to go back a few centuries. A sociologist named Max Weber described something he called the Protestant work ethic. The rough idea: hard work became a sign of being good, and idleness became a sign of moral failure, a literal sin. That belief soaked into entire cultures. Long after the religion faded, the wiring stayed. Busy equals virtuous. Idle equals bad. So when you rest, you are not just relaxing. You are quietly breaking a moral rule you never even agreed to follow. And underneath all of that, there is an even older layer. For your ancestors, downtime was dangerous. A still moment was a chance to be caught, to go hungry, to fall behind the group. The ones who felt a little restless, who always kept scanning and doing, were the ones who survived long enough to become you. So you inherited a brain that treats long stillness as a quiet threat. Move, prepare, do not just sit there. And here is the cruel part nobody really warns you about. When you finally do stop, your mind does not switch off. It switches to you. Every worry it was too busy to mention. Doing nothing pulls back the curtain on everything you have been outrunning. And that is uncomfortable. So you bolt. You reach for the phone, the snack, the chore, not because you want them, but because they save you from your own head. So now put the whole machine together. Unfinished tasks ping you. Culture says busy is good, history says idle is sinful, biology says stillness is risky. No wonder a free afternoon feels less like a gift and more like a test you are somehow quietly failing. But here is the reframe that changes everything. That guilt is not evidence that you are slacking. It is an old alarm, going off in a world it was never designed for. The alarm made sense when stillness meant starving. It makes zero sense when stillness means recovering on a Tuesday. You are not feeling guilty because rest is wrong. You are feeling guilty because your brain is running ancient software. Now, to be fair, not all of that guilt is a glitch. Sometimes the guilt is real information. There is a genuine difference between resting and hiding. Rest is stopping after you have spent yourself. Avoidance is stopping so that you never have to start. If you feel guilty during a break you genuinely earned, that is the faulty alarm. You can ignore that one. But if you feel guilty because you are dodging something that truly matters, that guilt is a nudge. Listen to that one. The real skill is learning to tell those two apart, instead of just feeling bad about both. And once you can, you finally see the real trick the guilt has been playing on you. We treat rest as a reward, something you are allowed only after everything is finished. But the list is never finished. There is always one more task, so rest keeps getting pushed to a finish line that quietly does not exist. The guilt quietly guarantees you never feel you have earned the break, so you run and run on a track with no end. But rest was never the prize for finishing the work. Rest is part of the work, the half where you recover enough to continue. You do not rest because you finished. You rest so that you are able to keep going at all. Think about it this way. A phone that is never allowed to charge is not productive. It is just dead. You are exactly the same. The downtime is not the enemy of the work. It is the thing that makes the work possible. So what do you do the next time guilt crashes your day off? First, name it. Say out loud, this is the old alarm, not a real emergency. Naming it shrinks it almost instantly. Second, schedule the nothing. Guilt hates rest it sees as random. It tolerates rest that looks like a real plan. Put rest on the calendar like a meeting. Now doing nothing is the task, and your brain finally stops filing complaints. Third, finish one small loop before you stop. Close a single tiny open task so the Zygarnik pinging quiets down. Send the one text, wipe the one counter. Then, the rest of the mess can quietly wait without shouting at you. And then, the advanced move. Practice doing nothing on purpose, in tiny doses, 5 minutes of genuine stillness, no phone, no goal, no escape. It will feel deeply wrong at first. That is the alarm, not the truth. Sit through it, and it slowly gets quieter. You are not wasting time. You are teaching a panicking brain that stillness is safe now. That counts as real work too. Because think about what the guilt is actually costing you. A whole life where you are always doing, never arriving, and never once allowed to enjoy the rest you supposedly earned. You can be productive and still be a person. Those two things were never actually supposed to be opposites. The most rested people you know are not lazy. They just stopped treating their own recovery like something they have to apologize for. So here is the one reframe to actually keep. Doing nothing is not the absence of a life well lived. Sometimes it is the entire point of having one. The guilt is loud, but it is old, and it is simply wrong about this. You are allowed to just be here for a while. The free afternoon you keep ruining with guilt is not a test you are failing. It is a gift your tired self is quietly handing you, and you are finally allowed to just sit down and take it. So tell me down in the comments, when was the last time you did absolutely nothing and actually enjoyed it? And if your own brain guilt tripping you over a nap is this fascinating, you already know exactly where you are. Stick around.